Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we just got back from Georgia yesterday and had the time of our life out there in Carnesville at the Hyundai Proving Grounds. And what a cool experience that was. Got to run a HX220 with a really good sized bucket on it. I think that bucket was 5 or 6 yards, I think it was. But had a good time out there, and came back home and realized that we had some pretty good weather here. Flying in, we were like, looking out the window, seeing a lot of snow, and I was like, I don't know what home's gonna look like by the time you get there. But that was all lake effect snow that was up there by South Bend, Michigan, and we're about 45 minutes from South Bend, so you cover a lot of distance before you get here. So apparently that snow stayed up that way, and got back to a welcome surprise that we've only got 90 acres of corn left to pick. While I was gone, the guys really kicked butt and got harvest almost finished up, and I'm glad they didn't get it all finished up, because I wanted to be here. You know, I look forward to harvest every year, you know, especially being one of the planter guys, and it's always fun to see it all the way through. So I was pretty excited that I had some corn left to pick. So that's tomorrow's plan. We're gonna hop back on that. We're gonna get the John Deere 9650 STS combine moved to the field and get on that and see if we can't knock it out tomorrow. So see what happens there. But since we had some good weather, other than being cold temperatures, decided that I was going to jump on getting this topsoil moved back into place and kind of try to maybe grade it off a little bit over the fill dirt. So that's what Dad and I are working on this afternoon. We did have cold weather before I left, and we had some pretty frigid nights, and it only got up to about 25 degrees during the day, so things kind of froze up. This topsoil, we peeled it up in sheets and piled it up, and it's just a chunky nightmare. You can see it's still chunky. This pile not so much, because this was piled before it froze, but that pile and some of the piles in front of the house were pretty frozen. So my goal was, it seems like this week's gonna have some warm weather, so I wanted to get this stuff scattered out, and that way later this week maybe we can actually get some finished grade on it. I need to go get the dozer from the river project and get it home. I also want to get my drag line home, get it here to the property, because I'd like to tear into it when I get some time and get the swinger clutches swinging right, so I can cast a little better than what I am, and get it to travel better, because the swinger clutches are also the travel clutches. So you shift it and then you can swing or travel. I wish that machine had independent travel and swing, but that's not a big deal. The cool thing is when a LS78 was new, a independent travel and swing package could be installed out on the job site, and it was only like $1,500 to have it installed after the fact. I wish somebody would have had it installed, but they never did. So apparently they never was worried about independent travel and swing. They probably just sat and dug. It did do clamshell work, I know for sure, because they had a tagline on it when I got it. But I never had a clamshell bucket with it, just the drag bucket, and that's what it was set up as a drag line when I purchased it. So I've never really done any clamshell work. I've had them, but I've never rigged them up and tried them. So maybe one day we'll get a clamshell bucket and throw it on and just try it out. I know the principle of digging with one, but I've never personally dug with one. So anyways, we're getting this knocked down and see if we can get it graded out a little bit here. Dad's in the Bobcat Sunday afternoon. And it is nice out. It was almost 60 at one point today. So kind of warm for December, it seems like, but also seemed like it was really cold for the end of November, start of December. So it got pretty darn cold there before I left for Georgia. We really fought it there for a while. But hopefully, maybe we'll get a little bit of what they call Indian summer and get a few good days here, or maybe a week or so. I still got ear corn that I'd like to get picked. Get it picked here soon. I'd like to get a video of that. I don't know what we're going to pick with. I haven't got the 620 fixed. 720s on the feed grinder, so I have just throw the 2940 on the picker, John Deere 2940. It's actually sitting right over there, so just drop the 15-foot batwing off of it and throw it on the picker. Now I did, if you remember from my first videos of picking air corn, that's what I actually used, was the 2940. Because it is actually the smallest Soundguard era tractor that we have cabless. We don't have anything smallest after it's a 4430, and I feel like a 4430 is a little large for a one-row New Idea ear corn picker. So I suppose you could, but I'd have to take a dual off, and it just looked kind of goofy. And if you ask me, picking ear corn is only nostalgic if you're running a cabless tractor on the picker, just because you just got to be one with nature when you do it, because that's how Grandpa did it. He actually had a mounted two-row New Idea picker on a case tractor. Would be kind of cool someday to have a mounted ear corn picker, but pull type works fine. Been looking for one of the John Deere 300 pull type pickers. Found a couple, but been kind of a road trip to go get them. So, all right, so we're gonna finish moving some of this topsoil and figure I'd get a video started of getting this all put back together, and then tomorrow we're gonna make a video of the last day of corn harvest, hopefully. So, but for now, let's carry on with this video and see how much of this dirt we can get moved, and then we'll get the dozer here and get things graded off and looking nice. Hopefully it thaws off a little more, thaws out a little more, and gets rid of these chunks. Well, we worked our way around behind the house to our last really big pile. Work on stringing it out some, throwing it out towards the back of the house here. I want to take a second and thank everybody that wished me a happy birthday in the last couple videos. I really appreciate that. It was a great birthday, turning 35 years old. So thank you very much for taking the time and throwing a comment up, wishing me the happy birthday. I know this looks pretty terrible right now, but hey, it's gonna be chaos for a while, especially since I don't have the dozer here, but I'll knock it down with the excavator as I go also. Just trying to figure out what's gonna go where and what yet I need to haul in. I've got a bunch of topsoil still out in the woods that I scraped off before I started to haul fill dirt, so I can get some of that. And then once we've got this all laid out, the original topsoil, I'll come back over the top of it with some black dirt, find some pretty dark stuff. In fact, back there behind where the 9300's parked, I've got some. So just have to get a little more of that, but it's kind of organic. It's more of a muck. But what I figured I'd do is I'd string it out over the top and do a little disking and kind of blend it in a little bit. Get some of this sandier soil mixed in that muck. And there's a little bit of clay in this topsoil. So it's a sand clay mix, and incorporate some of that organic into it. Should make some pretty good topsoil. Try it and see what happens. I'm glad to get this pile of dirt knocked down. There's been a pile of dirt along the shop pretty much since the shop's been built, and just want to get some of this knocked down and make it look pretty and start to see things evolve. And this darker dirt around the White House is really going to make it pop from a distance. So I just want to see a little bit of completion. I always like to see results. Got to get the siding put on yet. I'm going to see the contractor from LaPorte Housing is going to come out this coming week. And there's some stuff he's going to finish up in the house, and we actually have our final walkthrough coming up the 12th. So I'm going to maybe just see what he would charge me to get the rest of that siding put up. And a viewer asked me why we have Tyvek on our house, and I don't know what exactly they meant by that, other than I don't know if they thought it was over the siding. But Tyvek is home wrap, and it's a product that keeps the actual plywood sheeting of the house protected from the weather. Maybe some don't have it in other countries. Maybe it was a viewer from overseas or something that's never seen it, just seen the name and said Tyvek. But the nice thing about Tyvek is it breathes. So if moisture gets trapped behind it, moisture can get out from behind it and not cause mold, but moisture can't get in from in front of it, the way I understand it works. And that keeps the house breathing, but also keeps everything dry behind it, and then that won't promote mold from growing. And it's a barrier to keep down, I guess maybe keeps breeze from getting between the cracks in the sheeting if there was one or something like that. So by no means am I an actual house builder, but I'm sure that there are maybe some videos out there that explain exactly what Tyvek does. But to me, it protects the house and keeps things dry. It even keeps things dry if there was a way that moisture got behind the siding and stuff like that. So that's why it's there. The other end of the house that is covered in it is the garage end, and once the garage is done, that'll all be covered up and you'll never see it again. So we just got to get that garage built. We're just too far into winter to probably get a garage built. Talked to my Uncle Jamie. He thought maybe his uncles would be interested in building it. The difficult part of the garage is just getting the roof lines tied together. To me anyways, the easy part would be getting the walls done and all that and stood up and fastened to the foundation and sheeted. But when it comes to that roof, since we have this roof going this way, this roof on the garage is going to go like this. So it'll break up that roof line. Instead of having one continuous roof, we're going to have that other gable there, and it's going to really break up the front of the house and make it look nice, especially after we get the one on the porch done on the front. And now I'm really thinking about just throwing one on this back porch and actually covering that one up too. So I think it'll give the house a lot of dimension, and it'll look really nice that way. So, but I don't think we're in the right time of the year to be doing that. Although we might be better off doing it this time of year because the shingles aren't stuck down like ridiculously stuck yet, because they're freshly laid. They haven't been on there that long, and it's cold. Maybe they would pop off a little bit easier in order for us to interlock the new shingles with the old shingles. So I don't know. it's, I think you ask 12 different people, you're going to get 12 different answers. But that's what makes the world go round. I'll throw some more of this dirt behind me and I do know it's very interesting when you go to an operating competition and you start talking to other operators and the ways that they think, and you find that a lot of them think the same way as you do, and then you find a lot of them think totally opposite of you, and that's what makes the world goes wrong or goes around. You know, it's everybody has their own opinion, and it's interesting. But there is a lot of things that you just have common ground on. You agree completely on. So, but this is great to get this dirt dug down and away from the shop. I just wish the dozer was home right now. I do have, I know I talked about it in my previous video of picking corn. I purchased the John Deere Model 1945 land leveler, so I'm hoping this will thaw out and it'll stay thawed out, and I can use that up around here. And I actually had a few viewers chime in about those land levelers, and they've actually seen them too, and they told me some stuff about them. And the one viewer told me it'll take a little more power than you think it would to pull it, so that's fine. We got power. We'll put it behind Grandpa's 4640. Might be a good sized tractor to pull with. I was thinking the 2940 just for some simplicity up around the house, but might be kind of cool to pull it behind the 4640. Or I suppose we can pull it behind the 4430 also. Now see, at a certain point through here, from over there along the cornfield around, somehow I'm going to have to put some kind of swale through here a little bit just to maybe divert some water between the house and the shop. I got to figure that one out yet, but we'll figure that out later. That won't come till our actual final decision on the grade. I'm not too worried about that just yet, so I'm just going to drag this across. I'm just roughing this out right now, trying to figure out how I want it. Nothing right now is set in stone, so we're basically just kind of hogging dirt out in reverse. We're not dipping, we're just sliding it across the ground and stringing it out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get me some more drug over here and get it worked out. I mean, it's all kind of a guess what I'm doing here, because it's not like I have a topography map to go by on how to exactly do the grade around the house and the shop. So I'm just winging it and gonna do it by the seat of my pants, and especially when I get the dozer here, and I just feel like sitting in the dozer I can visualize things better than sitting in the excavator seat and really get what I want going. You kind of need to get everything completely smoothed out so you can have a good look at it from a few different angles and see what you want. I am very glad though we build everything up the way we did, because just from what I'm seeing already, I'm just tickled to death with what it looks like. It's looking really nice. The vision is starting to take shape. I know when we first started this project, a lot of viewers like, why did you build your basement so far out of the ground? What are you doing? And some were like thinking it was crawl space. And no, I had this vision in my head that I wanted to take this low spot, put a house in it, and kind of build it into a high spot that's kind of a hump. And I like it. Turned out real nice. I think it was a good choice to build here, and I'm happy with it. For those of you that are new to the channel and maybe just watching this for your first video, I grew up just across the field, and I played out here all the time. This was my stomping grounds. I had my jungle gym out there by where I got my trommels set up, and I spent a lot of time back here. Got my first four-wheeler, rode back here a bunch, and just always liked it here. And when the opportunity come about to be able to build here, I took the opportunity and never looked back. Just always had a connection to this property. When I was born, this is where I came until I was, we left here, when I was about 16, 15, 16. We moved to where my parents' farm is now, because we were starting a farm, and we always, kept the tractors and stuff at my grandpa's place. Dad started to pick up more and more farm ground, and we got into the excavating, and we had to go somewhere to expand. And well, the farming came first, and then the excavating came next, and we needed to expand. So that's why my parents moved to the present day place that our farm is at. So we built a shop there, and I want to say we built that shop in about 2006, and where we started from and made the magic happen. Now, I really, really wish that I would have started YouTube then, because of all the projects that we had done in the early years. When we first got started, there was no new equipment. We were buying equipment and making it run, and we still do, but back in those days, we were I don't know what you'd call it. I don't want to say we were exactly back row buyers, but we weren't afraid to buy something that was inoperable and take it back to the shop, put it back together, fix what it needs, and put it back to work. And we still do that with a lot of our equipment. We do have a few newer pieces, like bang that bucket a little too hard, like the 220 that I'm running now, and then our T870 Bobcat. Our Hitachi hose aren't in bad shape at all, but compared to what we started with, a real high-hour John Deere 790D, they're really up to snuff. They're pretty well-maintained machines, but in the early years, it wasn't like that. But it was a lot of fun. I do miss those times. But trust me, I still got plenty to maintain right now. Alright, keep stringing this out. Well, we got the dozer here, and we're going to start scalping off some of this topsoil. We need to take all this and go that away with it and get rid of the bulk of this, and then we'll start doing our fine-tuned grading around here. It seems like things are pretty thawed out. I've taken a few swipes just to see how it was going to go, and it seems like we're going to be able to do something with it today. So it is about 26 degrees, so it's only going to get colder from here. So I'd like to get this knocked out, because it's going to get real cold and freeze again, and then it's going to get real rainy for a while. So I'd like to get this strung out before we get into that rain. It's fairly dry right now, so it's gonna be easy to work with. So I'm gonna get the camera set up and we'll do some pushing. into the shop to do some things and got kind of busy and sidetracked, but George was out here with the Bobcat finishing up a few things, and it got dark. I walked out and was like, whoa, we got a blizzard going on. But this turned out really nice. I don't know if you can see very well in the video, but everything's smoothed out. We got a layer of snow over it now. But no more piles. Everything's strung out real nice. Dark as can be. We'll have to wait till tomorrow and get some video. Well, so the night that George and I finished up the grade work around the house, it started snowing and it got dark as I was busy in the shop doing some things, and before I knew it, it had gotten dark, so I didn't get to finish my video. But this is a couple days later, after it got a little bit of rain on it and that snow melted away. Turned out really nice. Looks really good for just freehanding it by the seat of our pants with the Bobcat and a dozer. I'm happy with this. This looks real good. So we'll get some black dirt over it this spring, and we will get some grass growing on this. Real nice. So anyways, if you enjoyed this, give me a like and a subscribe. I'd appreciate that. If you want to follow along, that's the way to do it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.